Yes.
And she also happens to be my very good friend, my darling friend, who we both live out here in the sticks of Melbourne. And we are in a group together called the Wealth Witches, where we, yeah, just do witchy wealth things and just a soul sister.
Thank you very much. Yes, you are my soul sister. This is just going to be us having a little chat, by the way, guys. We're going live with what normally happens when we sit down for a nice Wealth Witches chat, or, you know, how you lean into your sisters when you just need to, hash something out. So,
Well, that's exactly right. Like, it's in fact why I asked Von like 2 days ago. I was like, Von, I want you to do a live with me and I want to talk about just like what it actually means to be a queen because that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm heavily like shouting to the heavens, like, come and be a queen, come and be a queen with a program that I'm running. But then I was like feeling into who in my life already just are fully embodying their queen. And you are just one of those people that's so embodying your queen to me.
thank you,
But I just want to
Chloe.
discuss, like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. I mean, in our circles at least, and I'm sure in the wider community, like this word gets thrown around so much. Yes, queen, you fucking queen, get it, queen. And like, I love it. I love this word and I use it myself. But I'd really love to just sit down and have a chat with you about what it is to be a queen. To me, like, you can't just be a queen without doing a shitload of inner work, honestly. I feel like there needs to be, it's a deep journey of loving yourself, accepting yourself, and then also just coming into, through that accepting of yourself, you realize who it is that you are, what it is that are your gifts. And once you start bringing that, people can see it. People can see that you're standing in yourself, and you are sovereign, and you are in your own power. And yeah, I like it. I like this word when it's used authentically and placed well, because yeah, it's a huge compliment when someone has, got to that place within themselves. So thank you, Chloe. You're a queen.
Mm, thank you. And yeah, I can really receive and accept like being called a queen. Thanks, Shivani. Oh, yes, yes, queens.
Yes,
Um,
Wealth Witch Queen.
Yeah, it's really like, yeah, she's one of our Wealth Witch queens. It's really easy to accept like being called a queen when you are a queen, because when you haven't embodied your queen, someone like complimenting you and saying like, yes, queen, or you look fucking epic or whatever, usually someone that hasn't fully embodied their queen will find it will deflect even just a compliment like I have given you and you have so easily received and you give to me and I can so easily receive. Like that's actually part of the queen transmission is knowing like, yeah, I'm a fucking queen.
Mm. Yeah, and
Mm.
you can step into your queen when, like, you find yourself in difficult situations. It's like, well, what would my inner queen do in this moment? Yeah, she'd stand up for herself. Or no, she would leave the party because she's not enjoying herself. It's like, I call on my inner queen in times when I'm like, yeah, what would I really do here?
Mm.
The queen looks after herself. And the queen, I was contemplating it today because I knew we were going to have this chat. I feel like the queen is always making sure that she's looking after herself, because in a queendom, your community, your family, you and your partnership, if you're not looking after yourself, and that is your responsibility, you're not going to be able to look after and fill the cups of others around you. So it really always comes back to that like deep nourishment of self. And yeah, it's a beautiful journey. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and it feels like this is something that can be really challenging for people. What's coming up for me right now is like that queen, someone embodying their queen and being mislabeled selfish could be like really closely linked. And that I feel like that could come up in someone that hasn't embodied their queen and they're used to being really selfless and like staying at the party longer than they want to because they feel like they need to serve someone, or being in a relationship that they know deep down is not serving them because, like maybe it's going to get better. I feel like they can look at queens and it can be triggering because it's not something that they've stood into, and then it can be mislabeled like selfish or yeah, just self-serving, when actually that self-service is what calls you into that deep queenliness.
Mm. Yeah, and I fully
Such a
hear
fan
that.
of
And
being
it's so
selfish,
easy to
Shivani.
project. Sorry.
Shivani's written, I'm such a fan of being selfish. I love that.
Love that. I mean, yeah, it's so easy to project onto people what we haven't cultivated, or maybe what we don't like within ourselves, and then judge that about somebody else. But when I see any divine being, and I love how gender inclusive you are in your everything that you share, Chloe, and any divine being who is so, you know, sovereign, choosing themselves and just navigating from their own inner compass of what they need, what they believe in, standing in their own values. If you're going to leave that party early because that's the best way that you can respect yourself, but it looks like you're not being a good friend, for example, I see that and I think, well, I really respect you because you respect yourself. And I learn more from people who have deep respect and sovereignty within themselves than someone who's going around trying to please everyone. And in a way, like, it's a worthiness thing, like they're trying to earn relationships. But when you're worthy, when you love yourself deeply, you don't need to earn that love. You don't need to barter for it. And yeah, I see that.
Yes. Yes, I love that so much. It's a word, it's yeah, it comes, and that's something that's we're going to be going so deep into in my like 2-day immersion is worthiness. Like, oh, you are fucking worthy. Like the lands of your queendom, which is your body, like your body's lands, everything that you touch and operate within, everyone who's so lucky to get your energy, to get your time. Like that's the lands that you are like cultivating and keeping like beautiful and kept in this queendom that is you, that is your being. Yeah, I really feel like it's a worthiness journey. Like I am worthy of having this like impeccable fucking palace, like, and the most holy of palace gates, you know, being your pussy, being your body that people might get to touch and be a part of and have your time, your energy, your essence. How do you
Yes.
kind of like navigate that in your like day-to-day life?
Me?
Mm.
Um, I mean, yeah, from a personal perspective, I've dealt with quite a lot of anxiety throughout the last few years, and I've noticed the only real place that I get to where I'm anxiety free is when I just lather myself in self-care. And that means like having a bath, taking the rest of the day off if I'm feeling stressed, or, you know, that it's not really good for my nervous system. Always listening to my body, like, whoa, my body and my nervous system is really shot right now. I need rest. Or, you know, just choosing for me what I need. Eating really good food. Like I'm very fortunate to be able to afford to eat really healthily, and I eat organic, and there's so much amazing local produce where I live, you know, but eating really well. Every time I go down to sit down to eat a meal, I just think like, I'm loving myself right now. I'm loving my body and I'm loving my temple or my queendom, like you say. And yeah, it's definitely always through the body, listening to my body.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to ask
absolutely.
you, Dave. I want to ask you, like,
Ask me.
how do you feel that you've cultivated your queen? You've been mastering this over the development of your business. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that actually is really intertwined is like queen and work and business. But I feel like first, like for me, yeah, boundaries was a massive one. I had no boundaries like in my pre-queen days, like this, like staying at the party longer kind of example that we've been running with. Like, yeah, that was me fucking every time, like triple bookings in a day. You know, feeling that you know, that feeling when there's something that you want to do, but you feel you should do the other thing. like always doing the shoulds, not like really following what I actually want.
Yeah. Should is
So
such
like
a lame word. I really don't like
should
this.
can
Should.
every time
Don't
people
use
say
it.
should to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
but what do you really mean? Because I'm not into the should at all. Um, yeah, so
Mm.
actually like getting quiet enough, and I also have and do deal with anxiety, getting quiet enough to listen to the truth, to my truth. And I really feel that the voice of my truth is often like coming through the mouth of my queen. And it can also be divine, but I feel like my queen is really like deeply connected to divine. So like listening to my truth around what I want to do with my time, with my work. Like I was a teacher, I was a primary school teacher, and that my queen was whispering to me, "Get out, like get out of the system. This is not for you." And I was like,
Mm.
"Where? Like what am I doing? Where am I going?" And just like learning to listen and follow. The voice of
Yeah.
the queen has been a really powerful path for me, and then learning how to like make her voice get louder. For me, my queen is a her. Truth coming through the mouth of the queen. Yeah, yummy. I'll quote myself on that, Jess. Thank you. Um, for me, like there's different ways that we can make that voice get louder. And it's when we set our boundaries, like her voice can get louder. When I personally drop into, like, as you said, self-care practices, but also self-pleasure practices, her voice gets louder. Like things that like turn up her
Mm.
volume. For me, going into
Mm.
nature, just like being in silence and away from out external noises, her voice gets louder, and then it's easier and easier to follow the path because all the distractions start melting away.
Amazing. It's like you're building a framework to just heighten this voice or elevate this voice within you. I didn't see that. Like I always just thought that it was very intuitive, you know, as you take one step, listening to that little whisper of a queen voice in your heart or in your mind, you know, then the next piece comes. But yeah, you can literally just practice self-love, self-pleasure, being alone, and even journaling, you know, like where are you at? What's going on inside you? Where's your queen at? And who's running the show? So cool, babe. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for asking. And I feel like, oh, I just lost it. I just got like a wave of like of my queen moving through me going, yes, bitch. Like I'm so glad you're having this conversation. It's got so much pleasure kind of like come through me. Oh, but I'm not going to keep you long. So I just
I've
like
got a
feel like I'm
question.
gonna, okay. I had one, but you do one
My
first.
question is this: what are the attributes that you would feel, and this could be different for different people, you know, your queendom is your queendom, you can run it with all the values that you feel are necessary, but for you, Chloe, like what are your attributes of the queen? Like you just said, boundaries, self-love.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, the attributes of my queen are pleasure, like just comes through number one. Like my queen just like, you know, she just loves pleasure, and that's pleasure in like what she's wearing. Like I can't really wear synthetic things anymore because my queen's just like, fuck that off. Like I want nice materials. She really likes pleasure and like lavishness, but she also like, she's really connected to land. My attributes of queen is like grounded connection to herself, and she's fucking unapologetic. Like she will take the sword and just like um and she will cut like who's not standing up in like with integrity in her world. She's like, no, we've got enough, like out.
Yeah.
She's got a real ferocity. Yeah, she's got a ferocity, and she also is fucking unashamed to go for what she wants, to charge what she wants, like in my business, in my work, to call the partnership that I want. Before calling in my queen, I was like, yeah, like I'll settle for this kind of love and that kind of love, and that'll be good enough. And then my queen was like, no, fuck, I want this, and I want people that show up like this, and then that's what I've started receiving now, like deeply embodied kings and also queens when I'm feeling, yeah, like my queer self coming out and wanting to be with other queens, not with other princesses, like with queens or with other kings.
Yeah. Do you know what I love about Wealth Witches? This is jumping topic a little bit, but it's related. Me and Chloe are in, for everyone listening, me and Chloe are in a very small group called Wealth Witches, and we come together and we talk about our businesses and really empower each other to make the moves and hold each other accountable. So much fun. We absolutely love each other, and we have the time of our lives. We go on dates, we go on, you know, I want to book us in for the spa. Like, let's go to the Japanese spas together.
We're going on one tomorrow. We're going fucking to the museum tomorrow and having Japanese. Like that's what fucking Wealth Witches do.
Yes, exactly. So, but what I love about us is that I look around the table and I see each woman is so individually different. Like, I've got this, I don't know, Middle Eastern gypsy vibe thing going on, which really like makes me feel like a queen. And Chloe's got like this absolute rainbow, reckless, I don't want to name you, you name yourself, but this beautiful, wild, like gorgeous way. And, you know, there's two others in our group, Shivani.
Yeah, we're so individual.
You know, and it's like, whoa, we've cultivated and found our own flavor and are so fucking owning it. And somehow we come together and there's no competition of what's going, oh, she's there and I want to be there. Or it's like the queen mentality is this, like, I'm celebrating you. Yeah, I haven't got there yet, but I want you to thrive because I'm not in a place of discomfort of who I am. Like, I'm loving myself there. So yeah, this mentality of like celebrating each other, rising together, and I want to be in a community of queens, and I think we have cultivated that. So yeah,
100%. Thank you so much for naming that. We just got a yas from Earth Sprite. Yas, absolutely. And this is one of the pieces that I'm doing in the immersion because it's so important. Is like we're doing a whole module on sisterhood and sisterhood wounds because there's just and sibling, you know, for non-binary beings, it is such a shadow of the queen. It's what stops us from being in our queen is when we feel that only one can rise and not the other. It's actually such a falsehood. Like, we all have the capacity to be fucking bright lights. Like, that is what we were all here for. And they're going to be like the most iridescent, uniquely beautiful shades of light. So yeah, thank you so much for naming that.
rainbow. Let's get the rainbow going, guys.
Yes, and that's
every size.
and that yes, and that's also what I think is so beautiful about the Wealth Witches is because, like, you know, maybe a group of women who have started their own businesses and you know, trying to make it work wouldn't get together because they'd be like, yeah, well, we're competition. And maybe if maybe Yvonne, you know, was not embodying her queen, she could think like, oh, being on a live with Chloe might somehow be like not supportive of my business. But it's the opposite when you're in the queen. You know that like standing by side each other like is conducive to us all creating more like love and wealth and abundance in whatever shape that takes in our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to speak to that too, Chloe, because like, I speak to a lot of people who follow me over on my art page and they're just like, I really love where you're at within your business and I really would love to also be able to step fully into being an artist. And it's such an internal journey, guys. It's not like, cool, you just need this and a website and then woo, like people will start buying your art. It's like to be able to get on and show your face takes so much inner work. And yeah, I feel like the business piece around embodying your queen, if you can do that work that you're obviously offering in this immersion, it's like it is actually the work that develops your business and allows you to step into all the different elements of your life, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your business, whether it's your, you know, anything else. So yeah, it's really important work to be doing. I'd love to see the king version as well. Like, oh, what does that look like?
Oh, sexy. That's what it looks like. Red hot.
Yes. I'm so excited
Oh,
for your immersion on the weekend. How are you feeling?
well, it's not this weekend, it's next, and I'm feeling nervous. I'm
Mhm.
feeling excited and I'm feeling nervous for it, which is good. I feel like the Queen, when she's making big decisions, taking new leaps, like, of course, there's like expansion. I'm expanding. Like, I'm feeling that expansive energy coming through at the moment. Like, it's calling me into like a higher power. And yeah, I'm really, really, really feeling so juiced up about the beings that have already signed up. And yeah, this is a call now, like a pretty, just a call to you that I invite you to join my immersion that's going to be held here in Melbourne, Second Story Studios for 2 days. It's a full power. I'm not just letting you get away with one little day of deep diving, like 2 fucking days of you excavating, uncovering, and elevating your queen, 23rd and 24th of July. And you can DM me about it, or you can just go and check out the link in my bio, Chloe Adriana. So thanks so much, Bonnie, for letting me come on and share this with you and share it with your beautiful audience who, yeah, I really celebrate them following someone like you because they already get such powerful transmissions. Mm.
Thank you. Yes, and anyone listening, go to this immersion. Chloe is an incredible space holder, and it makes total sense that it needs to be a 2-day immersion, babe, because there's so much around this to workshop and really get into the guts of it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing about it, and yeah, couldn't recommend it
Celebrating
highly.
at Wealth Witches with a champagne afterwards.
Yes, we will be doing that on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing. Thank you, Faye. Thanks everyone for watching. Mwah. Go check out my bio.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye.